Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a look at Bitcoin. Again, happy Monday. Congrats to everyone in my community, of course, for taking some massive profits. 220% in 20 hours from Solana? That was fantastic. Good job to those of you who were able to get in on that. Of course, there are plenty more signals to come. Don't get me wrong. The market looks like it's making an adjustment upwards. If we get a closure today above 17,200, we're going to be in pretty darn good shape. So that's a key level previous resistance, and we'll go ahead and update some fibs here, kind of see what's going on, give you a better perspective on the big picture here for Bitcoin. But hey, congrats again to everyone. If you're not currently a community member, consider joining before your month end. Highly recommend it. The rates are going to adjust upwards, of course, based on demand, and of course, the new website coming out with a lot of new features. So be sure to register for that. We got Trading Academy, where I teach you how to trade. Trading Signals here, where you get tons of trade signals. Again, 220% from Solana in 20 hours. Bitcoin 16 days, 40%. Let's keep going here. Ethereum 60%, 16 days. 31% in 8 hours from Bitcoin. That was the trade we took yesterday. 82% from Litecoin in a month. Again, patience is key. You can't turn a profit every single day, obviously depending on if you're a day trader or swing trader, but generally speaking, these are all healthy profits. Portfolios are growing fast. So good job there. And also congrats to a lot of my community members who are using Bitget as their exchange and essentially benefiting greatly from my $10,000 prize pool monthly. Check this out, 10K monthly. Every month we get a nice little prize pool there for my community members. All you gotta do is register with the link down below. And of course, you do need a VPN for any type of registration for not only Bitget, but any exchange that offers leverage. I got you back, 3 months free with a 12-month plan through ExpressVPN. Phenomenal to be working with them, because I've been using them for years, and it's nice that they reached out here recently. Thanks again for that. So Bitcoin, here's what's going on. We broke the descending trend, just kind of touch on the big picture here and helping understand that, we're no longer making lower highs, okay? Well, I mean, technically we are in the big picture if you consider that, but what I'm getting at in the most recent time frame, we are establishing higher highs and higher lows, okay, consistently. So that's fantastic, and the descending trend is essentially broken in the most immediate future, okay, or a more immediate one. Now to zoom out a little bit, you can kind of see here, we got this previous resistance level, right? In other words, the previous descending trend that we broke above. Now keep in mind, all is well and good here until FTX occurred, right? So thank you FTX for hitting the big old reset button. But generally speaking, that little point in which the price broke free from that trend line tells us that we are tentatively bullish, but more so likely going sideways from there, okay? Same thing can occur here. So keep in mind, we broke this little descending trend, this shorter term time frame trend, and the likelihood of the price breaking free is lower, but it's also slightly higher than it is to go just straight sideways. Okay. So again, a lot of positive stuff here. I just don't want you to get too premature in your excitement right now, because we all know where that leads. It's not ideal to get overexcited and amped about this, but it is nice to know that traditional markets are pulling their head out their ass so far with a potential double bottom and the likelihood of a continuation of the upside. There's some really cool stuff going on. Bitcoin dominance is down though. You got to keep in mind, with the price of Bitcoin going up and the dominance coming down, alts are getting stimulated and hit hard right now in a positive way. So you just got to recognize that once Bitcoin dominance starts to recede, alts are going to get some profits taken. So be ready for your alts to kind of take a dip here soon, because that can't last forever. Because again, this is very tentative for the moment, but it's really nice to see. It's a very positive sign for the market to see Bitcoin dominance going down, the value of Bitcoin going up, and concurrently alts increasing as well. That's a very much a perfect storm, but just note that greed is a very real thing. And there's going to be some profits taken on those altcoins, specifically the very large ones, such as Sandbox, Mana, Solana, and Gala also taken off. I've covered all 4 of those here today so far, mainly because I get so many requests for it, but it's just really cool to be able to take some profits from those coins as well, right? Don't worry, I got a bunch of alerts set up in case the price pulls back. We can catch the next dip, we'll be good. But here with Bitcoin, let's go ahead and talk about the obvious. We are moving up here to a 9 on TD sequential. So today, hypothetically, should be signifying the last day of this continuation. Now keep in mind, this is not a super strong continuation, but nonetheless, that's actually very healthy, because it gives us this up and down or up and over staircase pattern, whereas the price action could and very well should consolidate at 17,200. The reason why I believe that is because this previous level here, take a look at this resistance and how strong the price action was getting rejected here multiple times. Like 9 out of 12 days it got rejected at that level. Yes, it broke through with a nice short squeeze and then came right back down, of course, because greed is a real thing. This was actually FOMC, if I recall correctly. So those things being said, Where are we at right now? Well, we're going to close above a 9 if possible, or close above 17,200. We do that, we'll be in pretty darn good shape to consolidate sideways and likely use that as a support level now instead of a resistance. Okay, so again, it's like that typical, resistance turn support scenario. But again, we close above this. Try not to get super excited because this could very well happen again. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, this Thursday we have some type of either minutes or a meeting. I'll double check my calendar. I send out fundamentals every week. In fact, those are due here today. So check that out in my Discord if you're currently a community member. We have those fundamentals, and I think there's some things we want to pay attention to this week. Okay, some catalysts that might actually cause the price to pull back a little bit. But again, closure above that level, great. We want that because I believe, if I recall correctly, we have a decent amount of volume just below that level, right? So again, healthy stuff here. I like to see it. There's nothing literally disadvantageous for the moment. Let's go ahead and take a look at this here. Simple moving averages are converging just below hand, which is great. It's all well and good. If we take a look at the RSI, we can see the price action is remaining above 50 and still under 70. Okay, so we do still have some room to grow. We could very well come up to 17.8 and get rejected, possibly even 18.3. But if we were to come up that far, just keep in mind, RSI will hold us in place. Typically, for the most part, it does that. MACD is still converging, so we have momentum to the upside. So once again, just kind of reaffirming that further upside is possible, but is it probable in the immediate future without consolidation and or retracement? Probably not. Once again, just sustainability is what we want. You think about trying to build like a some kind of structure. If you don't have a solid foundation, such as volume, at a specific support level, you're going to have a building that's going to collapse eventually. We want this to be able to maintain itself, right? So why not go sideways at this level and hold at that 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level and just do what it's supposed to do and consolidate? Okay, so what I really want to see here is the price kind of do one of these here for a little while, and then 24 to 48 hours later, we see the next leg up. Exactly what we saw over the weekend here too, by the way. That's why I took a trade yesterday, and we took some healthy profits because it looked like it was ready to consolidate at that level, and it was hanging out at 17,000. Why not leg up to the next 17,300? Okay, so again, this is what we call Fibonacci for a win. It's just amazing in how it stays within these levels, keeps getting rejected, breaks above, use that as a support, and continues higher. So we're just going to keep rinsing and repeating this option until we get overextended. Bear in mind, we're almost there, so keep that in mind, okay? So here, let's take a look at the 4 hour, see if we have an overextension here as well. So what this does, this tells us we're at a 6, okay? Hypothetically, the price goes up further from here. We will see another 4 4-hour candlesticks, so 16 more hours of continuation. What that will do is that would fulfill our ninth 9, basically on TD sequential, or it's, I guess it's a first 9, but generally speaking, it's a 9 nonetheless, on the daily. That would reaffirm that that is a nice, strong support level, but the price should retrace and or consolidate from there. So why not retrace or consolidate to this key level support that we just broke through? Okay, still a little premature. Keep in mind, we're only 4 hours into this candlestick, but mostly positive here. We still have room to run. Keep in mind too, RSI is up over 70, and typically when you see RSI over 70 on the 4 hour, it does spell a pullback, okay? So more often than not, you'll see that and the price pulls itself back, okay? So just taking a quick perspective here, RSI up over 70, consolidation. RSI up over 70, pullback. Okay, so one of two things will happen when you have that overextension, okay? So just kind of get that through your head. That's kind of where we're at here at this point. We're getting close to the end of this little run. Now, I don't think it's going to just fall and crash and burn. I don't really see 15,500 again. But between now and then, we got to kind of expect the price to retest specific levels. And if we do lose 17.3, 17 even is a good support level moving forward, okay? So if I were to, set alerts, I would set my alert at 17K just so I can get alerted there. And obviously the price breaks below 17.3, that might be a consideration as well. But I'd much rather buy the dip when it comes down that low. Because again, the most recent high where the price wicks up here and gets rejected is where the price is going to come down to bounce. That's almost always a common occurrence. Again, doesn't always happen, but it usually does. All right, let's wrap this up here with TD sequential on the hourly. We can see, of course, another 9 followed by that consolidation period. And then, of course, we're up to a 4 right now. So once again, this kind of reaffirms that we only have a few more hours left of this continuation. We very well could see the run all the way up until the end of today's trading day. So up until 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we could very well see the price continue higher to try to retest the 17.4, 17.5 range. I would like to see that because we have some profit targets right there at that level for Bitcoin, okay? So awesome stuff if we can get there. We're getting close. I think it's possible. But once again, a pullback and consolidation at this level is much more likely. Do not expect the price to just continue much higher from here. If it does, it'd likely be a short squeeze because there's a lot of shorts probably hedging their longs at 17.5. So just keep that in mind, a lot of volume there at that point. Last thing we want to look at is, of course, Ichimoku Cloud. All green lights here. If you have a long position open, keep it open. Our trades as a community are safe. Do not worry about closing anything. Take some profits if you want to, but our profit targets are built into our automated trading bot. So Cornix, the way that it works is just going to sell your positions as soon as we hit those targets if you followed my trade. If you didn't follow the trade, make sure you get used to setting up multiple profit targets because it's the right way to go. I like multiple entries as well, but that's a conversation for another day. All right, so that's essentially where we're at here. So overall summary is very positive for Bitcoin. Just bear in mind, no pun intended, the price action should pull back a little bit moving forward. If it doesn't, we'll be overextended and it'll pull back harder later. All right, so we'll see what happens with that. But 9 on TV sequential on both time frames, I mean, that tells me that we are due for a pullback in the next 24 to 36 hours. Okay, just be ready for it. All right, I hope that you learned something here today. Thanks again for joining me. If you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech. Look forward to work with you. Have yourself a fantastic day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.